Carol, what are you going to do with that?
We're going to make Hamburger Helper.
Hamburger Helper. But first, before we get into what we're going to be eating today, Carol and I went through and put up more of the soundproofing, sound deadening material. The last video, you saw that we hadn't finished that one part of the floor, so we finished that part of the floor. We also taped it. So it's all taped, all the seams are taped, which is very important because the goo comes up between the pads and then gets all over your feet and shoes. So it's a great thing. Plus it kind of seals it up just in case you did do a spill or whatever. But that looks great. Good job.
Good job.
Good job. So what we wanted to do is cook our first meal before we start heading out west and find out that the stove doesn't work and it won't work with the cooler plugged in. So right now we plugged in the cooler. We got a brand new double induction stove. I've seen a few other YouTubers use a single one, but I've personally used a single like burner, and I find that I need to have something on the side keeping warm. So I thought we'd go with the double since we have this big van. I bought this like, I think like 2 or 3 months ago, and I'm not sure. I wanted to try it in the car, in Rusty the van, but it's too big, and then I knew we were going to utilize it for this thing. We're gonna have a romantic dinner in here, and we got the chairs, we got the table. It's gonna be awesome. Oh, this thing's awesome, man. Okay.
It's like a boomerang.
Okay, this comes back, eh? I'll trip on that later. So another cool thing that we want to do is we kind of set this up in the same scenario as if we're going to have it. I guess this is where our galley is going to be. Is that what it's called, the galley?
Yeah.
So we want to kind of like experience this. Okay, so I did watch a couple of videos on this. Pretty much. So this is induction stove, 1800 watt induction stove. Again, I really wanted to try this, see how well it works with our battery system. Oh, this is beautiful, eh?
Shiny.
Shiny
I
new.
can't wait to cook on it. It's beautiful.
So this is an 1800 watt, and I couldn't find any induction stoves that were less than 1800 watt. I think they're all around 1800 watt. Even the singles ones that you can buy. So this is I'm not sure if it's Duxtop or Duxtop, or don't know how to say it. You can also buy pans and stuff made especially for this. One of the best things about this, from what I've watched with other people, is you don't need to have ventilation. You probably want to have ventilation just for the steam and all that stuff, but that's why we have a fan there. We're going to have a fan at the back so we can do the circulation thing. Or if it's nice out like this, you can just have your doors open. But on those rainy days when you want to cook something, we can now. So let's plug this in over here. All right, so let's do this. Do AC on. This will be very interesting. Oh, it worked.
Beep beep.
We're down to 42%. I forgot to throw this. I forgot to throw this on the charger last night, so hopefully it lasts throughout the dinner. If not, we have backup plans. So one of the things people ask is, are my pots and pans compatible? Is if you can put a magnet to it. Of course, everybody knows that cast iron is very metal. So this is what we're going to be using today. Unfortunately, this setup's not ideal. The other thing too, I just want to make sure you guys know that we have the cooler plugged in, and because I need to know if they'll work at the same time. But we're gonna hand the camera over to me, and then Carol's gonna start cooking.
Okay.
First, let's just grab. It's not full, but again, I wanted it to be on just to make sure that we. And I'm thirsty, by the way. Okay, now you can start cooking. Whoop,
Whoa.
Let me go this way.
All right, so first we're going to plug in this.
Oh, another thing being plugged in.
Because we need to have some...
Poor Bluetti. Going to be working super hard today.
Because we're going to have the, it's broth.
Chicken broth, right?
Yes.
So let's just touch that just to see what it's going to, we'll click it on. Oh, 900 watts. Oh boy. 1,000 watts. AC load.
Working hard.
It's working hard. So let's make sure this is boiling, and then I don't think we should turn this thing on.
Okay.
Until that's finished boiling. So we'll be right back. All right, water is boiled. We're down to 37%, and of course, as soon as the kettle stopped, it dropped down to 123 watts. So let's cook.
Let's cook. Okay, so we have some bouillon cubes here, and that needs boiling water to dissolve it.
Yeah, that's why I brought the fork.
You like it using the fork?
Yeah. There you go. Steaming up my camera lens, honey.
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
So this will dissolve, and then it'll be chicken broth.
Nice.
And so then we're gonna cook up some ground turkey. My body does not like ground beef, so I'm going to just enjoy the turkey.
Yeah.
We're going to add a little bit of oil into the pan because ground turkey doesn't have very much fat in it.
Yeah.
All right, so how do we turn this on?
Let's do on. And I think you have to hit the plus button. And I think it goes up to 10. Power 10. Oh, keep going. It might be 100%.
80's
well, let's do 80% power. And that is now pulling 1,300 watts. So we're down to 36%. Cook fast.
Okay, so while that's warming up, do you have to press anything else to?
Nope, just go.
Okay.
It should be heating up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's heating up.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to just brown the turkey. Oh, we don't have a stirrer.
Stir and also maybe
Pot holder.
pot holder. I'll go get it.
Okay.
Your tools.
Why, thank you. We're just going to cook this up a little bit.
Carol and I are going to be doing a lot of these type of recipe things when we do our adventures. So we'd love to have some of your favorite home recipes for anything that you like. Please email it to us at kendomic@gmail.com. In the future, we'll probably change that using our website that we're building right now. So keep that in mind, and that would be awesome to recreate your favorite food, dinners, lunch. And anyway, let's get this going.
All right.
I am starving.
Next thing is I'm going to add the onion. We've got just one onion.
One onion, this wouldn't fit into one bowl.
Right. And then we'll add the garlic. And we'll just let that cook a little bit so that the onions are nice and soft.
And translucent. That's a huge word.
Okay, while we're waiting for that to cook up a little bit, we're going to open up the can of diced tomatoes.
Ooh, that came in handy, eh?
It sure did.
Got a little tray of food. Spices.
So we're going to add paprika.
And it's however much you like.
Yeah. This is in my head kind of recipe. And then some chili powder. Some of the recipes I looked up called for cayenne, but I prefer the chili. And it called for parsley. Add a little bit.
It won't come out the other end, eh?
And
It just doesn't come out fast enough.
well, yeah,
It's like a salt shaker.
yeah, that's not going to work very good. Okay, we'll stir this up. Look at all those yummy spices.
That smells even better now.
Okay. And we can add in the noodles.
Noodles first, eh? Just
Sure.
dump the whole thing in. Yeah. I'm that hungry.
I didn't make enough.
Oh, really?
Like, that's enough. Because
Oh, okay.
They poof up.
They poof up.
They poof up.
I'm waiting for the poof.
It's not popcorn. Yeah, so we just get those all nice and coated with the spices. All right, now we'll add some tomato.
How much do you think of that?
Just a couple spoonfuls. Well, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah,
And
I'd go for more than less.
this has got the sauce in there.
Yeah.
You can see all the juice. So we'll just put some of that in.
There you go.
There we go.
Just
So
dump it in.
that's like a little more than a quarter
Okay.
of a cup. We can always add more if it looks empty.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stir this.
Yeah, I think the paste is going to come in handy.
Yeah.
Adding more stuff.
Adding some more stuff. We've got some corn niblets.
Do it.
And some ketchup.
Why not?
Why not?
That'll definitely help it.
It'll be saucy.
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 You always got to have the last boop.
Some of the recipes I looked up is calling for Dijon mustard,
Okay.
but we didn't have any. So we're just going to use this honey mustard.
Go for it.
And that just gives a little bit of a bite.
Sure.
I
You
know
can drop
honey
in some
mustard's-
Carolina Reaper and
Yeah.
That'll give it some bite.
That sure would. Now, some of the recipes I looked up, they said milk, about 1.5 cups of milk. I can't have milk.
yeah.
So I've never made this with milk.
I've never ever seen it either.
But that's why we're using broth instead, because
You'll have some liquid in there?
yeah, you have to have some liquid in there to cook the macaroni.
Okay.
So we're
That's
pouring that
1
in.
cup.
That was 1
Chicken.
cup of chicken broth. But those bouillon cubes are for 2 cups.
Oh, okay.
The noodles are going to absorb a lot of the water.
Yep.
And it will make it nice, but I want to make sure that we don't get dried out and that the noodles cook properly. So I'm just going to add a little slurp more, just so that we make sure
And
that
then
it's all good. And then some tomato paste. I forgot about that over there. Okay, and I'll put a little bit. We'll just do half of the container right now. So now we're going to let this come to a boil.
boil.
And
Not just straight to simmer.
no, because it has to come to a boil.
Okay.
Oh, so
Let's
see?
put the lid on it.
Yeah,
Oh, it already
so
is boiling, yeah.
It's almost starting. So we're going to put the lid on, and that will help to bring it up to temperature and keep it going hot. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so that's bubbling. I'm just going to give that a stir. They're not soft?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Really? Well, they're getting bigger than they were before.
I don't know.
Almost.
Yeah.
Nick? Yeah, almost. I'd say that's al dente.
Definitely.
Who's Dante?
That's teeth. I mean, stick to the teeth.
Oh, it looks good.
Boy, it does smell good. Another thing I learned about this is that gentleman from, I think he was from Australia, he said out of all the tops, this one was the best to cook outside because the wind never affected it. Whereas if you had any of his other stoves, propane, gas, whatever, the wind affected the performance of your stove. This one is exactly the same, whether it's inside, outside, windy or not. We're also down to 19%. Again, once we dropped it down from a boil to like a medium or low temperature, it dropped down to like 100 to 300 watts. It's kind of bouncing all over the place, but now we're not using a whole lot of power to just keep this going. And of course I grabbed some cheese. You're supposed to use cheddar, but I went with a smoked, what was it called? Applewood cheese. Oh, it smells so good.
Let's have a look. See.
That's amazing. Looks better than what I did.
Good.
When I ran out, or my fuel froze in the back of the van.
Aw.
Yours definitely looks better than Ken's.
Aw.
There you go. So
So
it's
it's
gonna
still
make a
saying-
noise for a bit.
Yeah, it still says hot.
Okay.
So that just reminds you not to touch it. Do you like our new fancy dishes?
They look
for
awesome. Good job.
Plastic.
That is for us
For
and
us
our
in here.
yeah, dedicated for the van camper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many scoops
I'm
do
gonna
you
do
want?
3 of those.
3.
Yeah, and there.
Cheese on.
Oh yeah, we'll let that melt. Oh, there it goes. It's off. So 17%. Again, if we had started with way more power, it would be not a problem. So it looks like it cooks a whole meal. Not too much.
Spread your cheese
Thank you.
around.
Dish yours out and we'll eat.
Yes.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. 2.
Yeah, you'll need 2. This is a messy meal.
It's a messy one.
That's
Here,
what
do this.
Sloppy bowl and sloppy Joe in a bowl. Sloppy bowl. Mine smells way better than Carol's because it's got that smoky Applewood smoked flair to it. Oh my goodness. Cheers. Oh yeah. Way better than mine. Good job.
It's hot.
That is very, very hot. Woo! This is very yummy. You put the right amount of spices in there. The cheese was an added bonus. We didn't have any cheddar, and I just yesterday or 2 days ago I bought some red fox cheese and the Applewood smoked cheese. Very expensive. I wouldn't buy that too often. That was a special little occasion. I was just feeling a little peckish for some cheese, and I saw the cheese counter. And I'm like, okay. So next time you make sloppy joes in a bowl, try it with the Applewood smoke. You have to like learn the technique of holding your food up and talking for a bit, letting it cool down, then you can indulge.
Okay.
That is fantastic. It's going to hit the spot. I cannot wait to do more recipes like that with you in the van. So our next step for this is to get the floor in as soon as possible. It's going to be wood, styrofoam, solid panel styrofoam, insulation, and then so wood insulation from the front to the back, or from the back to the front, and then we'll put our the floor that came with the van back in here, and we're going to screw it down. And this is going to be a kind of a temporary thing until we get back, because we're running out of time. We're leaving next week, so we hope you guys have fun when we do that. The other thing too is I think next Tuesday we're getting our thin slate insulation, which is it's almost like fiberglass insulation, but it's not. So you have to cut it. It's all poofy, and then we'll stick it into all the spots. We'll do the whole van, put the walls up that were in the van when we bought it temporarily, just so we don't have to look at insulation. Put the bed in, and then we're off to go out west. So thanks guys for hanging out with us. We really appreciate all what you're doing for us by watching our videos, liking our videos, sharing our videos, commenting, and of course all of our channel members. You guys are amazing. And our supporters over on Patreon. You guys rock. Carol, thank you very much. Quick little kiss on the cheek. Mwah. All right guys, talk to you later. See you in the next one. We're going to continue to eat.